Let's face it, the world isn't waiting to hear your excuses. Most people aren't ignoring you out of cruelty. They're simply caught up in their own struggles. Life, as the Buddha taught, is full of suffering, not just yours, but everyone's. And when we cling to the need for recognition or sympathy, we only deepen our pain. Here's the truth. No one is coming to rescue you. No one's going to gift you peace or hand you the life you dream of. People notice the result, not the journey. They care when you've already made it. That's why the path is clear. Stop chasing approval. Let go of needing applause. Your focus must return to what truly matters. Your own journey, your own growth, your own awakening. In today's video, we'll explore 7 timeless lessons inspired by Buddhist wisdom. Insights that can help cut through the noise and reconnect you with the only mission that counts. Becoming the best version of yourself. Lesson 1. Nobody owes you anything. Let this truth settle in. Nobody owes you anything. Not your parents, not your friends, not the world. As harsh as it may sound, it's actually one of the most liberating insights you can embrace. Why? Because once you stop waiting for others to validate you, support you, or save you, you reclaim your power. It's tempting to believe that because you've worked hard, someone should recognize your effort. That if you've been kind, others should return the favor. That if you've suffered, someone should come to ease your pain. But life doesn't operate on emotional contracts. People are wrapped in their own lives, their own worries, their own pain. Expecting them to carry yours only leads to disappointment. Buddhism offers a liberating teaching. Be a refuge unto yourself. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or rejecting help. It means stop depending on others for your inner stability. The more you rely on the external, on applause, rewards, attention, the more fragile your peace becomes. Think of it like this. Waiting for others to lift you is like standing on a beach hoping the waves will carry you to shore. The ocean doesn't owe you a ride, but you do have legs, and you can start walking. Taking full responsibility for your life isn't a burden, it's a blessing. Because the moment you realize no one is coming to save you is the moment you awaken to the truth that you can save yourself. Your growth, your discipline, your vision, they are yours to cultivate. And every step you take, no matter how small, carries you forward. So, instead of asking, "Why isn't anyone helping me?" ask, "What can I do today to help myself grow?" Instead of waiting for a door to open, become the one who builds it. This is where true freedom begins. Not in blame, not in expectation, but in quiet, determined self-responsibility. Lesson 2. Applause won't build your life. Discipline will. Applause feels good. The spotlight, the compliments, the recognition. It lights something up inside us. For a moment, we feel seen, validated, worthy. But like incense smoke in the wind, it fades. What once felt like a warm embrace soon becomes silence. Here's the truth. If your purpose depends on applause, your foundation is weak. The moment people stop clapping, you'll start questioning your worth. And in that space, doubt takes root. Buddhism reminds us that real peace isn't built on what's fleeting. It's built on what endures. And what endures is discipline. Discipline doesn't need an audience. It doesn't ask for attention. It simply shows up. Quietly, consistently, day after day. Whether the world is cheering or completely silent, discipline keeps going. Imagine building a house. Applause might bring energy for a moment, but it won't lay a single brick. It won't mix the cement or carry the weight. It's discipline, your willingness to rise each morning and do the work, that creates something lasting. Buddhist practice is rooted in discipline. Think of monks who wake before sunrise to meditate in silence, not for praise, but to train the mind. Their peace isn't born from the outside, it's cultivated from within. When you choose discipline over dopamine, stillness over noise, persistence over praise, you begin to build something that doesn't collapse when the world goes quiet. Something unshakable, So ask yourself, would you keep going if no one noticed? Would you continue the practice if no one clapped? If the answer is yes, you're walking the true path. Let applause come and go, like a breeze, but let your commitment stand firm, like a mountain. Because in the end, it's not who cheers for you that matters. It's who you become when no one's watching. Lesson 3. Most people don't want you to win, and that's okay. It might sting to hear that. But facing this truth is essential for your mental clarity and inner strength. Many of the people we meet, co-workers, casual acquaintances, even close friends, may quietly hope that we don't succeed. Not out of cruelty, but because your growth reminds them of where they've fallen short. Your progress can trigger their own hidden fears and feelings of inadequacy. In the teachings of Buddhism, we're reminded to observe human nature, not with anger, but with understanding. When someone resists your success, it's usually not about you. It's about the battle they're fighting inside. Your light may cast a shadow on their self-doubt, and instead of cheering for you, they retreat into subtle sabotage. You might notice it in cold silences, snide remarks, or their refusal to acknowledge your progress. But here's the liberating part. You don't need their approval to keep going. Buddhist wisdom encourages us to practice wise detachment. That doesn't mean building walls or growing bitter. It means choosing peace over pettiness. It means no longer allowing others' insecurities to disrupt your mental balance. Once you understand this, something powerful happens. You stop taking things personally. You stop looking for validation where there is none. And instead, you begin to redirect your energy inward, toward your own growth, clarity, and purpose. Cultivate compassion, yes, but also clarity. You can be kind without being naive. You can forgive without allowing yourself to be drained by silent envy. Your journey is yours alone. You're not here to compete. You're here to awaken, to walk your path with mindfulness, strength, and self-respect. Remember the Buddha's teaching. Be mindful of what you allow into your mind. Don't let other people's silent doubts or unspoken wishes pollute your vision. Let them go. Move forward with serenity, not spite. With purpose, not pride. When you stop depending on the world's applause, you find something far greater, peace that no one can take from you. Lesson 4. Pain isn't your punishment, it's your compass. Most of us run from pain. Whether it's a heartbreak, failure, rejection, or silent inner struggle, we instinctively treat discomfort as something to escape. But Buddhism invites us to flip the script completely. Pain isn't the enemy, it's the wake-up call. When life hurts, it's often because something deep within us is trying to get our attention. Pain is a messenger. It speaks when we've drifted off course or grown too comfortable. It's not there to break you, it's there to shake you awake. In Buddhist thought, suffering, dukkha, isn't something to be feared. It's an essential part of the human journey. Suffering reveals where your attachments lie, where your expectations falter, and where your real strength is waiting to be born. Think of pain as a mirror. It reflects your deepest truths. It strips away illusions, ego, and distraction, and leaves only what is real. And in that raw space, you find hunger, the kind that pushes you to grow, to evolve, and to reach deeper within yourself. Let pain fuel your focus. Like a relentless coach, it demands effort and discipline. It urges you not to settle, not to numb out, but to stay hungry for growth and anchored in purpose. Buddhism teaches that instead of fleeing from pain, we can sit with it, not with resistance, but with mindfulness. Just breathe. Observe the discomfort. Let it pass through you. In that space of calm observation, you discover resilience, the quiet strength to continue, even when the path is steep. And remember, everything changes. Pain, like all things, is temporary. No storm lasts forever. This truth alone offers perspective. When you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, this too will pass. And when it does, you'll emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned. Staying hungry means refusing to settle. It means honoring your potential, even when the road is filled with obstacles. Pain may slow you down, but it can't stop you unless you surrender to it. Let your passion outweigh your fear, and you'll become unstoppable. This journey will demand patience. Growth is not a straight line. It's messy, challenging, and often uncomfortable. But every painful experience carries within it the seeds of transformation. So when pain comes, don't curse it. Welcome it. Learn from it. Let it sharpen your vision and fuel your drive. This is the deeper lesson Buddhism offers us. Suffering is not a trap. It's a tool. And those who embrace it with courage unlock a wellspring of strength that can carry them through anything. Lesson 5. Stop explaining yourself. Let your presence do the talking. Have you ever found yourself caught in an endless loop of justifying your choices? Why you took that risk, changed direction, or followed a path others didn't understand? It's something most of us do. Explaining, defending, clarifying, hoping people will get it. But here's the truth. The more you explain yourself, the more you anchor your worth in someone else's understanding. And that's a dangerous place to live. Buddhism teaches us the principle of right speech, to speak truthfully, yes, but also sparingly, wisely, and only when necessary. Not every thought needs to be said. Not every action needs to be defended. Because when you constantly explain yourself, you're not just using words, you're leaking energy. You're taking your limited, precious focus and scattering it toward opinions that may never support you in the first place. And here's the kicker. Most people aren't even listening to understand. They're listening to judge, compare, or respond. So why invest your energy trying to win a game that has no finish line? Instead of over-explaining, start over-delivering. Let your actions speak. Let your discipline echo louder than your voice. Let your results do the explaining for you. Think of a tree. A tree never has to justify how it grew, why it grew slower than others, or how it survived the storm. It just stands tall, its fruit, its shade, its roots, all proof of its purpose. Likewise, when you live in alignment with your values, when your actions stem from a deep place of intention, you don't have to convince anyone. The right people will feel your authenticity. The rest? Let them walk. This shift is powerful. It's not just about being silent, it's about being rooted, grounded, confident in your journey, even if it looks different than others. Over-explaining often comes from a need for approval, a desire to be understood. But what if you didn't need to be understood? What if your peace wasn't up for debate? By letting go of this habit, you reclaim a massive amount of mental clarity. You stop fighting invisible battles for validation and start building something real, brick by brick, day by day. And yes, sometimes people will misunderstand you. They'll question your choices, your pace, your path. That's okay. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means mastery. When you stay quiet and consistent, you become unshakable. In Buddhism, silence is not emptiness, it's awareness. It's intentional. It's filled with presence. It teaches us to respond, not react, to act instead of explain. And over time, your silence becomes your strength. Your actions become your answer. And your results, your quiet, undeniable results, become the only explanation you ever need. So here's the practice. Stop trying to convince others of your worth. Let go of the urge to narrate every decision. Focus instead on the work, the process, the truth you live, not the image you defend. Because the moment you stop explaining yourself, you start embodying yourself. And that's where real confidence lives, not in the noise of persuasion, but in the stillness of purpose. So move in silence, build in silence, grow in silence, and let the world hear your success, not through your words, but through your presence. Lesson 6. Every time you try to please everyone, you abandon yourself. Let that settle in for a moment. So many of us go through life trying to keep the peace, smiling when we don't want to, saying yes when we mean no, twisting ourselves to fit the expectations of others. Why? Because we want to be accepted. We want to avoid conflict. We want to be liked. But here's the quiet truth that no one tells you. The more you try to please everyone, the more you lose yourself. And every time you lose yourself, you lose focus on your goals, your growth, and your deeper purpose. From a Buddhist perspective, this pattern stems from attachment, specifically our craving for approval, recognition, and harmony. And like all attachments, it leads to suffering. You can't walk a straight path while looking sideways. You can't hear your inner voice when you're tuned into everyone else's noise. And you can't fully grow when your energy is constantly spent managing others' opinions of you. Let's be honest, you will never please everyone, not because you're flawed, but because people are different. Their desires, values, and expectations are shaped by their own stories. And many of them have nothing to do with you. You might be too loud for one person, too quiet for another, too ambitious for some, too reserved for others. No matter how hard you try, someone will always find a reason to disapprove. So why sacrifice your peace trying to earn what may never come? Buddhism teaches the principle of right intention, living in harmony with your truth. But when you live for applause or approval, your actions become performances, your words are edited for acceptance, and your life becomes a reflection of other people's desires instead of your own. That's not authenticity. That's emotional exhaustion dressed up as kindness. This doesn't mean you become selfish or cold. True Buddhist compassion doesn't require people-pleasing. In fact, it teaches healthy detachment, the wisdom to care without clinging, to love without losing yourself. It's the difference between genuine kindness and the need to be liked. One is a gift, the other is a transaction. Ask yourself, am I helping because it's true to my heart, or because I'm afraid of being judged? Every yes you give out of fear becomes a no to your own peace. Now imagine how much focus you could reclaim if you stopped living for approval. Imagine channeling all that energy into your goals, your growth, your calling. That's where clarity begins. That's where true alignment lives. In Buddhist practice, clarity is cultivated through mindfulness and concentration, samadhi. This is the art of returning your awareness again and again to what truly matters, to your breath, to your path, to your purpose. It's the same in life. Every time you notice yourself drifting into the need to please, gently guide your mind back to your center, back to your intention. And yes, that means you'll have to say no sometimes. You'll have to risk disappointing others. You might even lose a few people along the way. But what you gain is far greater. You gain freedom. You gain the ability to live truthfully, speak clearly, and move forward without guilt or apology. And something beautiful happens when you stop people-pleasing. You attract people who resonate with the real you, not the filtered version, not the version that performs, but the version that stands grounded in integrity. And those are the people worth building with. So how do you begin? 1. Pause before you agree. Ask yourself, am I doing this from love or from fear? 2. Set quiet boundaries. Not every no needs an explanation. 3. Practice mindfulness. When you notice the urge to please, breathe. Return to your breath. Return to yourself. 4. Reflect on your values. What truly matters to you? Let that guide your decisions, not other people's reactions. Every time you say yes to your own inner truth, you strengthen your focus. You align more deeply with your purpose. And that's when your life begins to transform, not into something louder, but something clearer. Buddha never tried to please everyone. He simply lived in alignment with truth, and in doing so, he helped awaken millions. You can do the same, not by shouting, not by shrinking, but by staying centered, rooted, honest. So remember this, you do not owe anyone your exhaustion. You owe yourself your presence. Please others, and you may survive. Please your truth, and you will thrive. This is the way of mindfulness. This is the path to peace. Lesson 7. The world respects what you build, not what you complain about. We all feel it. The sting of disappointment, the frustration when things don't go our way, the quiet resentment when life feels unfair or others seem to have it easier. In these moments, it's tempting, almost natural, to complain, to vent, to point fingers at everything that's wrong. But here's the deeper truth. Complaining doesn't change your life. Building does. Buddhism teaches us that suffering, dukkha, is a part of life. But staying stuck in suffering, that's a choice. And often, that choice is hidden in our habit of complaining. At first, complaining feels like relief, like letting off steam, like bonding over shared misery. But slowly, without realizing it, complaining becomes a habit that poisons your mindset. It's like digging a hole, then wondering why you can't see the light anymore. Buddhism speaks of right effort, the discipline to let go of unwholesome habits and nourish the qualities that lead to growth. And make no mistake, complaining without action is one of the most unwholesome habits we develop. It keeps your focus on the problem, not the solution. It builds nothing, but drains everything. The world doesn't reward noise, it respects results. Imagine two people. One spends hours talking about how unfair their circumstances are. The other quietly shows up every day, building, learning, growing. A year later, one is still talking. The other is living proof of progress. Which one earns respect? Which one earns peace? In Buddhist philosophy, karma isn't about fate or punishment. It's about cause and effect. Every thought, every word, every action plants a seed. Complaints plant seeds of stagnation and resentment. But action, even the smallest act of courage, plants seeds of momentum. So here's the hard question. What are you building? Because the truth is, your life is your masterpiece, not your complaints, not your excuses, but the work you put in, the habits, the mindset, the patience you develop day by day. Look around you. Everything you admire, whether it's a peaceful monk, a thriving creator, or a wise teacher, was built, not wished for. Behind every success is 1,000 small choices to keep showing up, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. When life feels heavy, when things fall apart, the easy path is to complain. But Buddhism teaches us to see hardship as the gateway to transformation. Obstacles are not there to punish you. They're invitations to build resilience, deepen your character, and awaken your inner power. Here's the shift. Don't say, "Why me?" Say, "What now?" Don't ask, "Who's to blame?" Ask, "What can I build from this?" Building doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be quiet, unseen, like choosing to meditate instead of spiral, like reading a page of wisdom instead of scrolling through negativity, like helping someone else, even when you feel broken inside. Every small act of creation chips away at the wall of suffering and reveals your strength. And when you build, not for applause, but for alignment, you inspire others to do the same. You become a living lesson, a lighthouse, a reminder that transformation is possible. Buddhism doesn't ask you to pretend life is easy. It asks you to meet life with intention. It asks you to trade complaint for commitment, noise for focus, fear for effort. Let your life speak. Let it say, "I chose not to be a victim. I chose to build something from the pain." So the next time you feel the urge to complain, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, is this feeding my power or draining it? Because what you build will always say more than what you say. It will carry your legacy, your peace, your truth. The world respects what you build, not because it's perfect, but because it's real, because it's yours, because it's built with effort, patience, and purpose. So build your mindset, build your habits, build your inner world like a temple, brick by brick, breath by breath. That's how you move from suffering to strength. That's how you live a life worthy of deep respect, not just from others, but from yourself. Bonus lesson: own your power. The only opinion that truly matters is yours. In life, there's one truth that often gets lost in the noise of opinions, judgments, and endless distractions. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. Think about it. We spend so much time chasing approval, fearing criticism, and adjusting ourselves to fit what others expect. But no amount of external validation can fill the emptiness that comes when you lose touch with your own power, your own truth. Buddhism teaches us mindfulness and right view, the ability to see clearly who we are beneath the masks and expectations. When you own your power, you step into a place of unshakable confidence. You stop being a victim of others' voices because you're tuned in to the voice inside, the voice that knows your worth, your purpose, your strength. Here's the secret: your power is like a flame. It can be dimmed by doubt and fear, but it can never be extinguished unless you let it. Every time you choose to doubt yourself because of what someone else says, you give your flame to them. But when you choose to believe in your path, in your values, in your ability to grow, you keep that flame alive, glowing brighter and stronger. Imagine yourself as a mountain. The wind of criticism, the storms of setbacks, the earthquakes of doubt, they may shake you, but they cannot move your core unless you allow it. Owning your power means saying no to the voices that try to shrink you, saying yes to your dreams even when the world says they're impossible, trusting the process even when the results aren't immediate, standing firm in your values even when it's uncomfortable. Remember, the journey isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory over fear and limitation. So today, decide this: I will own my power. I will trust my journey. I will speak kindly to myself and act boldly in the world. Because when you do this, the world starts to shift. Doors open, opportunities come. Your path becomes clear, not because the obstacles vanish, but because your light shines through them. You are more powerful than you realize. Your potential is limitless. The only question is, will you own your power today? Keep this in mind. The world respects what you build, not what you complain about. Focus your energy on growth, purposeful action, and meaningful progress. This is the path to true respect, deep fulfillment, and inner peace. Life owes you nothing. Your happiness is your responsibility. Seeking approval, trying to please everyone, or constantly explaining yourself only distracts you from what truly matters: building your life with clarity and discipline. Buddhism teaches us to own our journey, embrace challenges as lessons, and develop resilience through mindful action. When you stop chasing validation and trust your effort, you unlock real freedom. Your energy is precious. Don't waste it on trying to convince others. Stay hungry. Stay focused. Let your results speak for you. The world honors those who build. Walk your path with strength and insight, and let the Buddha's wisdom guide you. If this message resonates, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Your journey to focus and freedom begins now.